Good morning, everyone. Morning, and welcome to the Unitarian Society of Santa Barbara on this summery, sparkling, sun-shining, warm September morning. Welcome to all of you here in body in the sanctuary, and welcome to all of you in the wider circle online joining us today. We at the Unitarian Society of Santa Barbara are a community that leads with our hearts, holding the power of love at our center, and we strive to live our lives with integrity, to nurture wonder and curiosity, and to inspire those actions that will transform us and transform the world. Welcome any questioners, any seekers of your truth, any pilgrims out there longing for sanctuary, travelers needing harbor from the storm, or people just needing a pause on life. Whether you've come for hope or inspiration, or strength or comfort, for meaning or community, we are glad that you tuned into this service or joined us through these open doors today. All people of goodwill are welcome here. My name is Kier Zecker, and I'm a member of the Worship Arts team, and I am delighted to be working together this morning with the Reverend Jeanette Love, our music director Matthew Grissett, and Heather Levin on the piano, all the ushers and tech crew here keeping us rolling smoothly. Thank you. I'd also like to extend a special welcome to any visitors, guests, or friends or family members, any of you who walked through these doors for the first time today. Please sign our virtual guest book if you're online, or there's a yellow card in the order of service you can fill out if you're here. We'd love to get to know you, get in touch with you. I'll let you know of all the things going on here at USSB outside of Sunday. So a couple announcements for some of the things going on. If you're looking around, you notice there's no children here with us. I don't see any that need to find Charlotte. Okay, that's because today is a very special day for our youth. The Wilderness Youth Project is here on campus leading a special nature play date with our youth and their friends. And if you do see a youth after service, ask them how their wander of wonder went. Sounds fun. Next Sunday is our annual in-gathering service. And this is a UU tradition that marks our time together after summer trips or play, a beginning of our congregational year, time to come back together. And we welcome back our beloved minister, Reverend Julia Hamilton, from her sabbatical. I'm gonna just say yay, I'm excited. And also a yay is very exciting, pancakes happen next week. So do come before the in-gathering service next week for 8:30 a.m. over in Parish Hall. There's a delicious pancake breakfast. This is a great opportunity to bring friends and family, anyone in your life that you'd like to bring them to the Unitarian Society and hang out, eat pancakes in a very comfortable, cheerful environment. I'd like to invite up Callie Talafas to tell us about the Young Adults Group meeting.
Hello, good morning, everyone. My name is Callie Talafas, and I am one of the facilitators of the new Young Adults group here at the Unitarian Society. This group offers a space for spiritual reflection, community, and friendship for young adults between the ages of 21 and 39. You do not need to be a member of UU or have attended any previous YA gatherings to join us. We meet the second and fourth Thursdays of every month in Blake Lounge, and we invite any young adults here for our next meeting this upcoming Thursday from 6 to 7 p.m. To join us, or if you know someone who might be interested, please let them know that we would love to have them. You can also reach out to Charla or Angie to be added to the YA mailing list if you'd like information on future gatherings. Thank you.
Thanks, Callie. Okay, so lastly, What do we need with this hot weather this weekend? How about a surf and safari? Oh, well, we might want to practice this weekend. That's because that's the theme for our annual auction, Saturday, October 19th. So we want everyone and your friends, again, this is a community event open to all. Get October 19th on your calendars and look for information, more information on this and everything going on here in your Friday email. Now let's take a breath. Center yourself in your body, in your space. As we ring the bowl gong, may the sound ring out wherever you are and connect us as we begin our time of worship together. We light our chalice in the beginning of service to focus our intention on being here now together. And if you're online, you can light your home chalice and type in the chat, "Chalice is lit," in the name of your street. May this light ignite compassion for our common plight, a divine spark from sacred dark that illuminates our sameness stark, without a question mark. In this moment, we are one. Before Reverend Julia left for her sabbatical, she lined up months worth of guest speakers for the worship arts team to work with this summer. And I'm grateful for this and feel enriched to have witnessed the breadth of experiences and perspectives these thoughtful speakers have brought. And today I'm honored to have with us today Reverend Jeanette Love, who's an ordained Roman Catholic woman priest and currently the pastor serving the Catholic Church of the Beatitudes. Reverend Jeanette Love was part of our mutual interfaith work with Border Compassion, spending time together at the migrant shelter in Mexicali and sharing with our youth and the people in the shelter the art of capacitar, that body-based practices to empower deep healing. And each week we take a moment to turn ourselves towards the good in the world, to lift up the changes in the world that are moving us towards a more beloved community and harmony. And we invite you to think about something now, somewhere out in the world this past week where you've witnessed something joyful, something that's inspired you or brought you hope. And Reverend Love had a timely entry for our communal good thing. She shared that September 8th, 2024, that's today, is the Catholic Church of the Beatitudes is celebrating the 16th anniversary of a faith community where all are welcome. The divine spirit has called forth women in the Catholic Church to accept excommunication in order to serve the people of God who are called to create small house churches, serve as chaplains in hospitals, minister to the LGBTQIA+ community, and nurture wherever the spark of spirit calls them to minister. This is a good thing.
Please rise and body your spirit as we sing our opening hymn, number 20, Be Thou My Vision. Be thou my vision, O God of my heart, not be all else to me, say that thou art, thou my
I invite you now back into a time of easy, relaxed silence together, a moment to let go of any thoughts you are attached to right now and just breathe. You may want to change your position. You can put your hands in your lap. Maybe you close your eyes. Tune into your body, your breath, your heartbeat, or let the music let you flow. I will ring the bowl at the end. Thank you, Heather. I was 23 years old when I started working as a mapping technician 1 for Santa Barbara County Resource Management Department, now called the Planning and Development Department. The year was 1990, and I had come to attend UCSB in 1985 from Texas, graduated with a geography degree, and was determined to find a job in this beautiful, vibrant city. Mark Bright was the person who hired me. I would describe Mark as the kind of modern-day Renaissance man, someone with a genuine competence in and understanding of many fields, and I was at first drawn to his talent in cartography. He modeled the ability to gather and verify information from many sources, analyze and understand the spatial relationships, and then the artistic design skill to show those results in the form of a map. Because we were mapping sites in Santa Barbara County, Mark knew so much about the local flora and fauna, the ecosystems, the way the canyons, creeks, and oceans work together with changing weather, as well as knowing the populated communities who lived there. What were the histories? What were the politics? What were the land use rules? Paying attention to those details of location. Mark articulated this blurring of the lines, this interconnectivity of geography. And listening over the years, I was not only inspired. It wasn't just a thought that I can learn from you, you are my career mentor. It was something deeper. I would describe the experience as an activation of my life force, a profound opening in my life when I was first called to actively investigate the wholeness of place. It set me on this journey that continues today to uncover the infinite number of varied layers that make up this special spot on Earth that's currently we call Santa Barbara. And Mark also shared years of stories, photographs, art, history of the time he spent in Yosemite National Park and the High Sierras. I was very curious, but with so much unfamiliarity, I did not know where to start. Seeing my interest, Mark would suggest campsites, trails, towns to explore, and in 2001, with his encouragement, I took my first trip to the Eastern Sierras. I kept going back. I brought my family and friends with me. There was this powerful feeling that kept deepening with each experience I had there, calling me back again and again. More of the sauntering, the uncovering, the discovering of new layers of place and how they interact with each other, this feeling of expansive time, not wanting anything more, a feeling in high elevation basins of being both vulnerable and held, feeling acutely present along with the touch of deep time, of humans who had been coming to the High Sierras for respite from the heat and to be in majestic beauty for thousands of years. And before that, of the massive granite batholith that was created and uplifted and carved by glaciers millions of years ago. I am called to know the wholeness of place there too. So much so, I recently made plans to live in Bishop for a couple months next summer to be close and go deeper into the fabric of that area. And I wonder this calling, would I have found these mountains, my connection to them, and this deep calling to investigate this location without someone sparking something deeper in me that I needed to follow? If Mark hadn't activated my imagination to the depth of what might come from immersing in a place, listen to me light up and encourage my exploration in this way. I think we need each other to listen to and to help us see our deeper callings, our passions, our interests that tap into our divine life force. Giving back for me means sharing what moves me to that place of wholeness and inspiration and listening to what's stirring below the surface for you. Is there something calling you in your life from that deep place? I look forward to listening. And each month at the Unitarian Society, we share 25% of our offering to a group or organization that's in our community, living out our values in the world. And this September, our outreach offering is for the League of Women Voters of Santa Barbara, and I'd like to invite up Colin and Joni Jones.
First of all, the League of Women Voters includes all genders, but so far they're not changing the name. Anyone 16 years of age may join. The League studies issues of interest to voters and works to inform voters. It also presents ideas and views to our government bodies and agencies at all levels, local, state, and federal. For the last several months as a member of the League, I have been involved in a community forum on climate change, specifically California state actions and their effects on local resiliency. The video recording is on the League YouTube channel. And last week, the local League made a statement to our California State Lands Commission that we did not support the reopening of the Plains All-American, now Sable pipeline, and the restarting of the local offshore platforms.
I have to say that it's not only the last few months that Colin's been involved in energy. I'd say something like 10 years of studying energy, community energy here in our town. Being active in the League has led me to involvement in the Environmental Action Committee, used to be called SUSCOM, in membership in the book group, political book group, and for the last several years in the Housing Committee. Want to learn more about our South Coast Housing Data Project that our Housing Committee developed? Please check out our website. Look at the housing or the committee page. The League positions developed by careful study are the basis of our speaking up in our communities, our state and our nation. We are a 501c3 covering the South Coast, South Santa Barbara County. Supporting our League supports our mission, empowering voters and defending democracy. Please support our local League of Women Voters as you are able, and join us in reading the affirmation of gratitude and forgiveness. Let us be grateful when we are able to give, for many do not have that privilege. Let us be grateful for those who share their gifts with us, for we are enriched by their giving. And let us be grieving for our needs, so that we may learn from the generosity of others. Thank you.
I can see all obstacles in my way. The clouds that had me down. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Yes, I can make it now, the pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is the rainbow I've been waiting for. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. But blue skies. Nothing but blue skies. I can see all obstacles in my way. gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day.
I'd like to start by reading from a gospel from Matthew, the faith of a Gentile woman. Then Jesus left Galilee and went north to the region of Tyre and Sidon. A Gentile woman who lived there came to him, pleading, "Have mercy on me, O Lord, Son of David, for my daughter is possessed by a demon that torments her severely." But Jesus gave no reply, not even a word. Then his disciples urged him to send her away. "Tell her to go away," they said. "She is bothering us with all her begging." Then Jesus said to the woman, "I was sent only to help God's lost sheep, the people of Israel." But she came and worshiped him, pleading again, "Lord, help me." Jesus responded, "It isn't right to take food from the children and throw it to the dogs." She replied, "That's true, Lord, but even dogs are allowed to eat the scraps that fall beneath their master's table." "Dear woman," Jesus said to her, "your faith is great. Your request is granted." And her daughter was instantly healed. The gospel of God. We praise you, Jesus the Christ. Wow. That's an interesting gospel, one we don't often hear. So we bless you on this beautiful morning. I am Reverend Jeanette Love from the Catholic Church of the Beatitudes. We're a small faith community, and it so happens that today we celebrate the 16th anniversary of our founding. It's hard to believe that we have been together as a worshiping community for 16 years in the Santa Barbara area. After this worship service, I will join my community as we celebrate with a dinner and share our memories and looking to our future. We hope to have many more years together listening to Spirit's call, following Spirit's guidance, being there for one another, and serving others where we are. I am a Roman Catholic woman priest. We are 300 in number, mostly here in the US, and include some married and gay men. Members are committed to renewing the Roman Catholic Church through faithfulness to the gospel and ancient church traditions, to the witness of the prophets and mystics, and to the Spirit's universal call for inclusion and justice. We uphold the dignity of all people and all creation by speaking out against injustice and working in solidarity with those committed to nonviolent resistance to all forms of oppression and discrimination, especially against women, children, and the LGBTQIA+ community. We serve small worshiping communities, serve as hospital and hospice chaplains, offer spiritual direction, serve the LGBTQIA+ community, and welcome them into the priesthood. Some serve by accompanying women who come to Planned Parenthood for their appointment to have an abortion, so they do not walk alone through the line of hecklers. Some serve the poor on the margins, and so much more. When God calls, answering that call is not an option. It becomes a fire of God's love that burns until it is answered by ministering in love and compassion to those to whom one is called. Recently, I was privileged to get away for an 8-day centering prayer silent retreat at the Camaldolese Monastery in Big Sur, California. It is a small monastery and simple, but it is a stunningly beautiful place where nature is just breathtaking. You drive 2 miles up from Route 1 coastline to reach the monastery. While there, I attended their daily liturgies. The new prior was offering a homily on the story of the Gentile woman who came to Jesus for the healing of her daughter. When he said that most preachers shy away from preaching on this gospel, which I can understand, I experienced a call to use this gospel story today and share some insights with you. Of course, when you're called by God to do a specific task, God calls and calls until you answer with a yes, which I did. And after much prayer and working with Spirit, here are my thoughts. The evolving human and divine nature of Jesus. In the Gospels, we often don't see the human side of Jesus or even consider that it continued to evolve throughout his lifetime. In this reading from Matthew's Gospel, we hear Jesus demean a Gentile woman, which seems shocking to us. How could Jesus, who some believe is fully human and fully divine, treat someone in such a disgraceful way? When Jesus listens to her plea a second time, he responds, "It isn't right to take food from the children and throw it to the dogs." However, Jesus is struck by this Gentile woman's response to his insult. "That's true, Lord, but even dogs are allowed to eat the scraps that fall beneath their master's table." It seems that his divine nature opened his heart, and he learned from this gentle but strong woman who would not give up on seeking healing for her daughter, regardless of what she would need to endure. He responds, "Dear woman, your faith is great. Your request is granted." Jesus deserves some empathy, so let's dig deeper and maybe gain some understanding. We do not know much about Jesus' childhood. Maybe being an illegitimate child was known by some in his town. Others must have known that his mother Mary bore him out of wedlock. Could Jesus have been mistreated as a child? Remember that the angel Gabriel came to Mary to ask if she'd be willing to conceive a child through the Holy Spirit. Now, Gabriel did not announce this to the whole town to let them know that the child that Mary was carrying was conceived by the divine Spirit. So, what was Jesus' childhood experience? Was Mary looked down on and shunned by the other women? What was it like for Joseph, who married Mary, knowing she carried a child that was not his? Have we ever wondered about this? The Gospels do not speak of this or touch on this. How did this affect Jesus? Jesus was fully human, and some believe, as I do, that he was also fully divine. Just as we grow and mature into becoming fully human, so too I believe that Jesus evolved into his human and divine nature as well. Jesus was a Jew, We all were raised with and learned cultural prejudice. Jewish people did not mingle with Gentiles because the Jewish people believed that these sects followed evil practices, and therefore they were forbidden to associate with Gentiles. Jesus was to bring the message of the gospel to the Jews. Gentile women were seen as sinners, and Jewish people were not to associate with them. I wonder if his divine nature of all-inclusive love began to break down his cultural prejudice from time to time. Through this experience, it just might have opened the floodgates of his divine heart, so that he saw this Gentile woman who, as a mother, was pleading for her child. Jesus could no longer hold back his divine gift of healing. Did this experience become the impetus that propelled the evolution of his divine nature? That from then on, it grew in leaps and bounds? I would tend to think so. Let's look at honoring this strong Gentile woman. This Gentile woman who comes to Jesus, who is known as a healer, was willing to accept insults in order to achieve her goal, which in this case was to seek a healing for her daughter. She knew that as a Gentile woman, she would not be accepted, which may be why she pleaded and begged him. She would not take no for an answer and had to do all she could to get Jesus' attention. This strong mother was very wise and did not let the expected insult throw away her chance to gain a healing for her daughter. Yes, she expected this initial response, since Gentiles were not to mingle or speak to a Jewish person. But this was Jesus, the miracle worker. She had to find a way to reach him. Her inner wisdom created a pathway whereby she responded well to Jesus' insult. Her comeback statement, "That's true, Lord, but even dogs are allowed to eat the scraps that fall beneath their master's table," was a clever retort response. This awakened Jesus' deeper nature, through which he experienced her deep faith and impassioned desire for her daughter's healing, that he was compelled to respond. In the midst of this clash of values and beliefs for both involved, Jesus stepped outside the norm and reached across the divide to offer this strong Gentile woman a scrap that blossomed into a deep healing that birthed a daughter that was fully restored to health and a mother that was forever grateful. Did this experience change Jesus and open him to other Gentile women who continued to expand Jesus' thinking about the expansiveness of his mission? What about other examples of strong Gentile women or women considered outcasts? We have the example of Jesus reaching out to the Samaritan woman and the woman who anointed Jesus' feet, whom he supported. I am sure there were others whose names and stories have been lost to us. The evolving of Jesus' divine nature. So did Jesus' divine nature evolve as well? Jesus was known as a healer and a wisdom teacher. We do not know of Jesus' spiritual learning during his early life. We know he was immersed in the study of Judaism. Also, we do know that when Israel was taken captive in Babylon in 586 to 546 BC, they were exposed to not just an influence of wisdom teaching, but the influence of a wisdom school. Ancient Babylon was one of the prominent centers of wisdom teaching. The atmosphere must have been electric with receptivity to the higher meaning of wisdom teaching. Even wisdom itself, for the first time, was portrayed as a she, the feminine aspect of God. Judaism imbibed this wisdom teaching, and Jesus too must have been immersed in it as well. And so we have the Book of Wisdom in the Bible. When Jesus began his ministry in earnest and his divine nature was wide open, some of the Israelite people were blown open by a second profound encounter with wisdom in the person of Jesus Christ. Some saw him for what he was, a Moshel Meshalim, a master of wisdom, teaching the science of transformation. We don't know if Jesus emerged as a student of these ancient wisdom schools, but definitely emerged through them. Those who heard him and traveled with him encountered him as a wisdom event, which required recognition from deep within. Some recognized Jesus, and some did not. This Gentile woman, the Samaritan woman at the well, the man born blind, Mary Magdalene, and others, seemed to get who Jesus was. Others, like the Pharisees and Sadducees and Pontius Pilate, did not get it. The recognition had to be more spontaneous and intimate, from a meeting of hearts in the present moment. There's a deep something in each of us that has the capacity to recognize wisdom when we meet it. When that spark of recognition flashes forth in us, we are then awakened and connected. How can this scripture reading speak to us? Well, we live in a country that is deeply divided, us and them. In about 2 months, our election will be held, a time to vote our values and truths and step into action both nationally and locally, and do our part by voting on the candidates and the policies we stand for, in addition to helping to get others to vote their truth. It may be just as urgent for us in our wisdom to do our part in toning down the negative rhetoric. Step out of our cultural prejudices, and if we have the opportunity, to open to those who think differently than we do. As Valerie Kaur, who teaches revolutionary love, says, and I quote her, "To listen to our opponents is to seek to understand them, not to change them or persuade them, not to compromise with them or legitimize them. Listening to our opponents preserves their humanity and our own. Listening is not just a moral act, it is strategic. Listening enables us to fight in smarter ways for justice, not only to remove bad actors from power, but to change the cultures that radicalize them. This is how listening to our opponents becomes a powerful act of revolutionary love." End of quote. A deep love for humanity sees the other person who differs in their thinking from us as a fellow citizen, my neighbor, or member of my family. And instead of arguing which deepens the divide, can we step back and listen? Maybe then they will feel less threatened, and be willing to share what is underneath their anger or their fear, or share what beliefs mean to them. This is not easy, but it is necessary. Will listening to others who may hold different beliefs help tone down the opposing rhetoric? Maybe. Having that kind of conversation can be a way of building civility and good citizenship that helps prevent poisoning the good efforts of many. Jesus, who was steeped in his culture, stepped out of his cultural prejudice and in his wisdom did an about-face in response to the wise and witty response from this strong Gentile woman. In return, she was given a powerful miracle that healed her daughter. Maybe we too can create some small miracles, one person at a time. Thoughts to ponder. I would like to end with thoughts from Brian McLaren's book called Disruption Revolution. McLaren says that this disruption revolution begins with each of us as we present ourselves with all of our doubts and imperfections, all of our failures, fears, and flaws to the Spirit. You, me, everyone, no exceptions. Sounds like opening to that deep spark inside of us that opens to the wisdom that we are attracted to in someone else. As the churches seem to be emptying, meditation groups, retreat centers, and wisdom schools and other faith traditions are being sought out, and those called to remain in their churches seem to go deeper into their faith traditions. We in the West are in the process of regaining our wisdom tradition we have lost. As McLaren says, to see the future of Christianity and spirituality, don't look at a church building. Go look in the mirror and look at your neighbor right next to you. So let's do that. God's message of love and wisdom is sent into the world in human envelopes. If you want to see a great spiritual migration begin, then let it start right within you. Amen. Let us close with a short prayer. Holy One, we are birthed from the divine mystery into the life of your creation, which you share with us as co-creators. We accept your invitation to wade deeply into the waters of this mystery. We invite your inspiration to grow and mature as Jesus grew and matured. We celebrate living this mystery in order to ignite this spark of divine fire within in service to your people and all of creation. With hearts open to all that is yet to be revealed, through your abiding and enduring love, we pray this in deep gratitude. Amen.
Please rise in body or spirit as we sing our closing hymn, 108, My Life Flows On in Endless Song. My life flows on in endless song, above its lamentation. I hear the real, though far off hymn, that hails a new creation. Through all the tumult and the strife, I hear the music ring. It sounds an echo in my soul. How can I keep from singing? What though the tempest round me roars? I know the truth it liveth. What though the darkness round me close? Songs tyrants tremble as they hear the bells of freedom ringing, when friends rejoice both far and near. How can I keep from singing to prison cell and dungeon vile? Our thoughts to them are winging, when friends by shame are undefiled. How can I keep from singing?
Go ahead and stay standing, and as we head out of these doors into this beautifully complex and interconnected world, may we stay open to hearing and sharing our callings, our divine sparks, and know that we are all in this together. We all need each other to follow our best path. If you want to share your thoughts or ask questions that came up from today's service, you can join me in coffee hour about 10 minutes from now in the corner of Parish. I'll be hosting what's called a conversation corner. Feel free to join me. And as we extinguish this chalice, may the light of love shine upon you, out from within you, be gracious unto you, and bring you peace. For this is the day we are given. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Let's call it a blessing.
Call